Tonight, Disney Days of Christmas reopened at Disney Springs, which is good, because at least it feels like it should be November by now. It's been 2 long months. Candy Cauldron and Goofy's Candy Company are back as well, which is great, because I missed grocery store candy at 4 times the price.
Amen.
It's the mouse ears. You pay for the mouse ears. People have started an online petition to replace Splash Mountain with the Princess and the Frog ride. Guys, there's no way Disney is ever going to change plans to close something by you shaming them on the internet. You've read WDW News Today and hopefully Universal Parks News Today. But now it's time for WDW News Tonight! My glasses are fun.
Live and mostly from the WDWNT studio in Orlando, Florida, it's WDW News Tonight with Tom Corliss and Nick Cicero. Tonight, bad ideas for theme park social distancing, a discussion about how offensive Splash Mountain is, and Tony's Town Squares. Now, here's your host, Tom Corliss.
Yay. Oh, thank you.
Fake applause, fake applause.
Paid audience. Hello, I'm Tom Corliss, and Lombards at Universal was actually good. I'm still stunned by this. It was supposed to be still bad.
Things change.
How's everybody doing? Pretty good?
Me, fantastic.
Thanks for getting dressed up for the show.
Yeah,
Wearing a gray
anytime.
undershirt.
He's looking good. Oh, Pandora. Here you go.
Pandora.
I'm well, I guess.
How are things aboard the Nostromo?
Great.
It's good.
You know, I get made fun of when I wear a shirt and tie or when I wear a, t-shirt. I can't
we
wait.
just don't like you.
Wow.
This is rude. No, things are great on the Nostromo. What could go wrong? My ride is gone. So.
One by one, the audio has vanished somewhere. Anyway. Welcome to the show, everybody. Let's get started. Now, the news.
News.
Brought to you by the WDWNT Interglobe Society. Disneyland Resort has submitted plans to reopen Downtown Disney on July 9th and their theme parks on July 17th for Disneyland's 65th birthday. And now, a preview of the festivities. There you go. That's what it'll be like.
Oh man, I feel like you just. What?
What was it?
What are they complaining now?
About? That they can't hear me?
I've seen a couple songs, things about your mic not working properly.
You sound fine.
Sounds fine.
Okay. It's you. It's you at home.
Is it because he's wearing the mask?
I don't know. It might have just been the mask. Who knows? I'm going to put this here so the wire's not all
I'm seeing
weird.
levels and everything, so.
I don't know. Maybe it's cracking. I don't. Apparently something wrong with the video. I don't know what just happened. That the flash just ran by our show.
I might have gremlins tonight. I don't know.
It's a News Today transition. We're on the wrong show. Anyway, which News Today? I don't know. There's 40 of them now. Downtown Disney will reopen on July 9th with what the hell's left. They closed everything for that hotel they didn't build. I don't know what's it going to open.
Earl of Sandwich.
U-Rest area, the former AMC Theater. Enjoy the U-Rest area. The Grand Californian and Paradise Pier hotels won't open until July 23rd, though. The extra 6 days will be used to take back the Paradise Pier from the roaches. Gotta go in and fight them. They've learned how to stand on top of one another and work the elevator.
They're like raptors at Jurassic Park, like open doors.
Clever girl. Disneyland has announced that all new ticket sales, as well as sales of renewals of annual passports, will be temporarily paused. Not to be outdone, the NBA experience is also not selling any tickets either, but not for not trying. Poor NBA experience. Josh D'Amaro, everyone's favorite guy, Josh D'Amaro, recently named chairman of Disney Parks Experience, Toasters, Microwaves, Miniature Golf and Products has issued a thoughtful letter reflecting upon the reopenings and about the magic returning. Quote, "We are purposefully taking baby steps during this very intentional phased approach. As one of the first major theme parks to close our operations and the last to reopen, we have been deliberate about keeping the health and safety of our cast, guests, and local communities top of mind. And we look forward to bringing our cast members back to work and welcoming you back as cherished guests. We know it will take all of us working together responsibly to recapture the magic." It's very nice. Very nice thing he said.
Yeah.
Bob Chapek also released a statement, quote, "Bring money." Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, everyone's favorite guy, announced that all individuals all individuals entering the state of Florida from Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York must isolate or quarantine themselves for a period of 14 days. Yeah, the order has now been extended indefinitely. This really has nothing to do with COVID-19. It was mostly about body odor. So,
Yeah, we're just happier about it this way.
mostly body odor thing. Baby Yoda, too much cologne. Baby Yoda balloons. You can buy Baby Yoda balloons at Disney Springs. The balloon is $14, or as the Mandalorians would say, this is the ripoff. Disney Pin Traders reopened at Disney Springs. You just got it? David got it.
No, I liked the pause. That was the best part.
Disney Pin Traders reopened at Disney Springs with no pin trading. The store will now be called Disney's Pin Buyers.
Nick's pleased.
That's great.
It's a dad joke of the week. A rainbow castle ornament was released for Pride Month, featuring Cinderella Castle in green, yellow, orange, and red. This color scheme still looks better than what they've actually painted the castle. Go with this. Can't be worse. The MLS will be launching the remainder of their season with a huge tournament at the ESPN Wide World of Sports in July. Reports indicate that players will be staying at the Swan and Dolphin resorts. How appropriate that the soccer players will be staying at the two resorts named after types of dives.
Yeah, I'm just going to give it to it.
No, hit it, yeah.
Poor Eric.
Sorry, Eric.
I like it.
It's not. Doesn't matter. No one's hearing anything. My mic doesn't work.
Your mic's fine.
They say it's running on someone's shirt.
Well, that's probably his shirt. So, there, enjoy this noise, everybody. Hey, you know what? You know what? Everyone's a critic,
Great
you know?
noise.
Everyone's a critic.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, we know.
Is it good now? I don't know.
Stop looking at it.
Sure. I don't
I'm just
know.
going to keep touching the mic. That's the right thing to do, right?
Hey, everybody. Does this sound good now? Are we happy? Everyone good?
Okay.
Is my mic working?
It sounds about the same as
Hello?
usual. Stormalong Bay, the extremely popular sand-bottom pool that can be found at Disney's Beach Club Resort, will be closed when the resort reopens. Guests will instead be directed to the pools at the boardwalk. You know, this is like sending guests with Disney World park tickets to Fun Spot. Yeah. Well, it's not actually sand in the bottom, by the way. It's just sprinkles that people dropped from Beaches and Cream. It's just a whole bottom of a pool with sprinkles.
I hate when I get sand in my fun spot.
It's coarse and it gets everywhere. Walt Disney World has announced many restaurants will be reopening with the resort hotels on June 22nd. You can find the full list on our website, but I've been asked for the sake of those at home to read off the list by the names that regular guests might know these establishments by. They're in resort hotels.
Yeah.
Not everyone's familiar with all the hotels. So these are the names that you might know these restaurants by. This is a bit of a PSA for everyone. At Animal Kingdom Lodge, the restaurants that'll be open are the Bread Place, Breakfast at the Bread Place, the Bread Place Lounge, and the Basement Activity Center that's actually a counter service restaurant.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
At the boardwalk, you can experience the Bad Italian Restaurant, the Bad Pizza Place, the Bakery, the Horse Bar, the Bad Magic Bar, and the Store with Cupcakes. At the Contemporary, there's the restaurant with no windows, the lounge with no windows, and Contempo Cafe. At Fort Wilderness, you could get some food from PB&J Takeout or the Asbestos Tavern. That's what killed the bar when he was only 3, the asbestos.
Yeah.
At the Grand Floridian, there's the sit-down sandwich place, the hidden counter service, and the $25 drink bar. At Wilderness Lodge, there's the loud ketchup restaurant, the yelling spoon, and the bar that was good for a minute when it first opened. At Yacht and Beach Club, you go to Beaches and Cream, the counter service inside a store, and the Is It Open bar.
Oh, that's a great
Kind of dark. I don't know. I think there's a guy. It's Martha's Vineyard, by the way. Old Key West has the restaurant with a check-in covered in pictures, the bad fast food window, and, of course, the best bar at Walt Disney World. Gurgling Suitcase. It's the best. Disney's Polynesian Village Resort has the Kona Cafe Overcooked Steakhouse, Captain Hook's, the Dole Whip window, and the Get Too Drunk to Swim pool bar. At Disney's Riviera Resort, there's Topo Gigio's Terrace.
We didn't get through this one in rehearsal either.
God. Topo Gigio's Terrace, Primo Ito's, place that's not a Starbucks in the lobby, and Bariva.
Primo Ito.
At Saratoga Springs, you could go to the Shop Restaurant, Patio Grills, or I didn't know there was a pool bar. So those are all the restaurants you can experience Walt Disney World. Topo Gigio's.
Topo Gigio's.
Topo Gigio's. In an attempt to minimize, Primo Ito's. Dumbest thing. Primo Ito's. In an attempt to minimize cast member and guest interaction at Disney Resorts, they announced several measures this week, which include virtual chats through the My Disney Experience app in lieu of in-person discussion. In addition, they'll be cutting back on special classes and programs, such as hula lessons, in-room daycare, the Mermaid School, chess lessons, Minecraft, Centaur School, cigar making, children's CrossFit, VR crochet, alligator wrestling, Bitcoin collecting, Leprechaun Academy, corporate espionage, horse husbandry, winemaking, toddler blackjack, and Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique. Children's CrossFit. That's at Primo Ito, I think. They do the children's CrossFit. Kids are lifting up on the light bars. In other news, Loungefly probably released some bullshit that my girlfriend wants this week. Arribas Brothers France has announced, that's it. Arribas Brothers France has announced a very special new item, the Heart of Tafiti stone, as many fans may recognize from the Disney animated hit film Moana. Based on how this year is going so far, we would like to encourage Arribas Brothers to please throw it back in the ocean. An Indiana Jones Adventure 25th anniversary puzzle has been released at Walt Disney World. Disneyland people love to rub this in our face every time. You could have a puzzle, though. Here's the puzzle. Yeah. However, just like the attraction, the puzzle includes several pieces that'll never work, and it takes 5 hours to get the box open. Takes 5 hours to get the box open. Primo Ito. Children's CrossFit. Toddler blackjack. Get ready to reunite with some fried chicken because Chef Art Smith's Homecoming is fixing to reopen on June 17th. Also, they're going to be opening that brand new porch. Oh boy, big project, this porch.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Universal built a roller coaster during COVID.
We got a porch.
We got a porch. A bar porch. Yeah, that'll be open. Still closed, though, will be the bank accounts of all the employees he furloughed or other servers he didn't tip. Art Smith is a piece of garbage. If you're yearning, just go to Primo Ito. If you're yearning to plan a trip this year but find that finances are tight, the U.S. tourism industry may just come to the rescue. Industry lobbyists in hotel, theme parks, and other tourism sectors are lobbying for a plan that will provide $4,000 in tax breaks for their upcoming vacations. Yeah, or 3 Nautiluses at Trader Sam's.
Well worth it.
What a tax break.
Well worth it.
Zootopia Land has gone vertical at Shanghai Disneyland. Construction going high now. The land will be a complete recreation of the city from the film, a place where anyone can be anything. Of course, being in China, you can be anything except free. Yeah. I can't wait for the people there to misconstrue that tagline, though, as the place where anyone can pee on anything. Pee on anything. I peed on a bench. I peed on a wall. I peed on that guy. I peed on a popsicle. I peed on everything. I won't stop peeing till. All right. Pee on everything. Not allowed back.
Quality show tonight.
Yeah. The Walt Disney Archives are celebrating.
Speaking of urine.
Oh, come on. Come on. Are celebrating a big anniversary this month. June 22nd marks the 50th anniversary of the archives. In celebration, D23 is hosting a special debut, the premiere of a new documentary, Adventure Through the Walt Disney Archives. In the film, you can watch as an NBA player tries to buy things, only for the archives to realize that the item was already stolen from the crate it was in. Yeah. Personally, I'm most excited about the full hour that'll be dedicated to props from the Narnia film series. That's great. That's the news! Nick, who brings us the news?
WDW News Tonight is brought to you by WIGS, the WDWNT Interglobe Society. Support WDWNT and get early and exclusive access to content you won't find anywhere else, including exclusive WDW News Tonight and Park Center post shows each and every week, starting at just $2 a month. You can also get core bucks to spend in our online store to collect Disney Parks items from around the world and WDWNT exclusive swag. For more information, go to patreon.com/WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com and click on the Patreon link. Join WIGS and help make this show happen through Patreon.
Thank you, Nick. You know, a lot of theme parks are starting to reopen. SeaWorld opened today, and no one seemed impressed with anything.
And people were like, what's SeaWorld?
No one put a mask on, apparently. Didn't go well. Universal opened last week. That seemed to go pretty well. And Disney, the opening is coming up. But, you know, in the course of trying to figure out how theme parks are going to operate with all of this, there have been some really good ideas, like social distancing markers on the ground. You have to wear masks, things like that. But there are some ideas that just didn't quite work. And so right now we're going to go over rejected ideas that were deemed not good ideas for social distancing in theme parks. Let's go over some of these. We have these exclusive art we have for some of these offerings.
Here's your
here.
first one. This is a good one.
We got the first thing. They were going to replace all the Club Cool soda machines. They were just going to become Purell dispensers. So Beverly Purell. Don't drink that either.
Oh.
The Beverly or the Purell.
It's not good.
Don't drink either of those. They were going to do curbside pickup at the Emporium. He doesn't seem happy about this. This guy,
That's an eBayer.
No, he's guest relations. He's not there to give you your order. Also, apparently, this happened in October. There's I don't know, this fall garland in the building. What else do they try? The Winnie the Pooh honey walls. They were going to just try to make those Purell walls.
Yeah. Then Pooh said, "Wash your damn hands."
Yeah. What is that Purell bottle full of? It's brown. Why is it brown?
Well, our sins.
Is that a Shanghai Purell bottle? I don't know. Yeah, then Pooh said, "Watch." I didn't even notice it said. Pooh said, "Wash your damn hands." What's the next one we got? Yeah, instead of putting these decals over the floor, they realized they had a lot of these Host-A-Ghost jars, so they figured 6 Host-A-Ghost jars could be used instead of one Don't Stand Here decal.
I mean, what sort of idiot would buy all those Host-A-Ghost jars at full price at this point?
Yeah, same kind of idiot who would hire you.
Yeah. It's a valid point. Valid point.
What's the next one? Oh, yeah, Magic Band face masks. Magic Band face. You put your face Mickey to Mickey, sir. Line it up.
Mickey to Mickey.
Instead of people being able to walk, they're just going to run Omni-Movers down the street.
I'll take
Everyone's
it.
going to dress like it's the 60s. Okay. This looks unfortunate, by the way. Yeah, I guess you have to go to Casey Jr. Splash and Soak in a hazmat suit, and then they're still going to spray you with Purell anyway.
Yeah.
That looks violent.
More violent than it usually is over there, too.
That is, yeah, I don't. The kid's also in like a pool.
Yeah.
I don't know
Get the tub.
I don't know what's going on. Yeah, you could have a Zoom. You're going to have Zoom meetings with characters. That's how you can meet characters via Zoom calls.
And that's it.
That's it. That's all of them. Those are all the rejected. Those are rejected ideas for social distancing in theme park. Can't imagine why none of those happen. All right, we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this Splash Mountain thing.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this. All this and more coming your way tonight. Stick around.
It's something you hear, but aren't meant to notice. Background music, and it is the work of the unsung hero of theme parks and department stores, background music composers. We sat down with some of the very best in the business and arranged their music and interviews onto must-own 7-CD set.
I was hired to make the background music for Dinoland USA. At first, I wrote a pretty fun theme song for the entire land, but in the end, I opted to make a mixtape of terrible songs from the 2000s, and one song made famous for that green ogre movie that Disney didn't even make. I mean, nobody really pays attention to the background music anyways, right?
Composing original music for Grand Avenue and Hollywood studios was certainly a challenge. When you look at it, the land is really just a leftover facade, a gated barricade and a tap house. But then I saw those toilets and I was inspired by one particularly full one.
Listen to some of the world's greatest composers openly discuss the making of such iconic, or ironic, background music. Mostly because we're so confident that nobody would ever listen to or care about this CD set.
I did all the original music for Tokyo Disney Sea. I won a Grammy and a Juno, and it was top of the Billboard charts, and I even won a BAFTA. What? No, wait, I still have so much more to say. I won a BAFTA.
Each CD comes with over 25 hours of music loops, with an alternate side of commentary by the composers themselves.
What I was really thinking about with this innovations music is that it has to be something you can poop to.
Order your complete collection now at... What, we're out of business? I thought this was going to save the company. It seemed like such a strong business plan.
Coming this summer to theaters. Maybe. If not, it'll be streaming on something.
All right, you idiots, get in here.
Yes, Mr. Barhammer?
I need a new flesh creatures exhibit for my entirely animatronic staffed theme park, Robo Mountain. So get to Earth and steal me some animals.
Well, where on earth do we get these animals from? How about this place? Animal Kingdom Lodge.
When the animals of Animal Kingdom Lodge are kidnapped.
We animals challenge you, animatronics, to a game of basketball. If we lose, you can put us in your exhibit.
Well, yeah, but if we win, you have to leave Earth forever.
You giraffes and zebras don't even have hands. You've got 3 days to prepare.
Well, what are we gonna do? We don't know how to play basketball. We're animals, for crying out loud.
We may not know, but all the NBA players staying at our hotel might.
Welcome to Safari Jam!
Now, the animals and the NBA players staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge Jumbo House will have to pull off the win of the century.
Bill Murray? What are you doing here?
I'm here to train you. Now let's get all you wild party animals to the NBA experience at Disney Springs.
featuring the voices of the biggest stars in the Savannah. Josh Gad, Idina Menzel, Kristen Bell, Kristen Stewart, Kristen Wiig, Christina Aguilera, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Safari Jam, running wild this summer on ESPN+.
All right.
Pressing Issues is the spin-off of the WDW News Today podcast segment as a long-form panel discussion in which some of the brightest minds of WDWNT analyze the biggest stories of the week and their impact on the Walt Disney Company, its parks, guests, and cast members. Join us every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, or afterward on the WDW News Today podcast feed.
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight, which as always is completely inaudible.
It's totally fine.
But if you at least can see this, we're going to show you what's on Disney Plus this week. It is Wine Bar Georgia the Jungle. Watch out for that Pinot! With his friend,
his friend Grape,
a grape named Grape.
A grape named Grape.
Wine Bar Georgia the Jungle. Okay.
And now for something completely different.
What is the dumbest thing so far tonight? Is it Primo Ito, Wine Bar Georgia the Jungle, Safari Jam? We got, I don't know,
Safari Jam. Children's CrossFit.
What's sad about that commercial is I wrote what I thought are some really good lyrics to that song. You can't hear any of them. Like at one point it says Ancoli Cattle Slam. Oh. I gotta find
You'll
the
have
lyrics.
to do the extended
It's only like a paragraph. It's like 2 lines. There's only so many words in that song. All right, we want to talk about this. We're going to have another discussion this week. We're moving it to next week because we got to talk about this. This Splash Mountain thing. There's a petition. People have deemed that Splash Mountain is offensive for a number of stereotypes that may or may not be present in the attraction. And they want it to be replaced with a Princess and the Frog ride. Mm-hmm. That's what's happening currently. So joining us, the illustrious panel here in the studio. We got, well, they're all out of order. I'll go in order. Oh, Spencer all the way from Japan.
Good morning.
I thought we got rid of you. I didn't know.
No,
all right.
You can try.
Straight above is Allison. We got Jason Diffendahl next to her. Nathan Hartman to one side, Nick to the other. Down in the corner, we got Eric Morton and Eric Wolf of Geekly Kingdom. You had your first show at Saturday, right?
Yeah, we did.
And you guys will be on not this Saturday, but the Saturday after.
Yep.
All right, we're going to show the whole schedule later. People get it. All right, I want to talk about this. So number one, I want to lead off with one point. I have in all this before we get to anything. People want this to be a Princess and the Frog ride. There are no mountains in Louisiana.
Would be an extensive change.
They don't have them. So
that's the first problem.
I have a problem with a mountain ride based in a state that does not have mountains. That's my first point, and I will let everyone else go now. That's the main point I wanted to make.
That's the discussion.
I'm good. Everyone else can go now.
I certainly think that we can talk about this in 2 parts. One is whether Splash Mountain is racist. Actually, 3 parts. Is Splash Mountain racist? Should it be replaced? And what should it be replaced with? The answer to the 3rd question is clearly not Princess and the Frog.
It's clearly the black hole.
I think that. Well, that's fine too. I don't really. I mean, whatever it is, it's going to be bad because Disney can't make a good ride in the past 5 years. So,
don't worry. after they close Splash Mountain in the U.S., it will still be in Japan.
Yeah.
So we all can go to
It'll always
Japan.
be in Japan.
We could see the auction
This whole
scene.
discussion-
We could ride Splash Mountain. We could look at that offensive
country
Native
bears.
American face on Tom Sawyer Island.
Yeah.
We could do all sorts of racist theme park rides in Japan. So it'll be
This
fun.
whole discussion doesn't apply to me at all because we will always have Splash Mountain in Tokyo, and
Good.
ours is the best one, so it
Nathan,
doesn't
just
matter
shut him
anyway.
off.
Shut it. All right, Spencer. Good night. Thanks for joining us.
I agree with Jason. I think there's like different points that can be made in the sense of cultural discussion, but then also
Did we
sort
actually turn off Spencer?
No, he's back.
Oh, okay.
No, I turned my camera off.
I think we talk about a cultural discussion, and then we can talk about like a thematic discussion. I think they're two different things.
They are two very different things. yeah.
I think Song of the South. Well, I mean, okay. What I would say about Splash Mountain is that we have to talk about. Tom is now pulling down.
I need to illustrate.
Oh, and just so you know,
No, I need
Reagan
to-
last
He has a
week.
Princess and the Frog picture. he's
Go
just gonna
ahead,
put
keep
there.
talking.
So what I would say is like, first and foremost, Splash Mountain is a ride based on an IP, right? Big Thunder isn't. Other things aren't, but it's a ride based on an IP. It's also not a ride that is what I would call like a Walt classic, right? This is a ride from the 90s, okay? So in that sense, I have to ask, like, is the IP valuable to the Disney company? And the answer is no.
But the attraction has permeated pop culture and
Well, see, and so here's where I
society.
would take. Here's where I would take an argument with you, Nathan.
Sure.
The IP that the ride is based on, the original movie,
right,
is not valuable to the company.
No.
I would argue
and
that
is
some of
probably
the songs,
racist.
and I would say is very likely racist. Yeah.
Yeah.
But some of the songs and some of the characters are much more valuable to the company than the original movie that they came
We
from.
can't get rid of Zippity Doo Dah.
Well, and that's what's interesting. Zippity Doo Dah is actually like has some basis inside of minstrelsy. Has some the term zip is used in many minstrel songs about, let's just say, somewhat non-intelligent people, right? So really, oddly enough, probably the most controversial thing about Splash Mountain is Zippity Doo Dah.
But here's the thing. How many people know these characters from the movie? They don't.
No.
I think there are two places that people know these characters from. It's the ride, and then maybe the sing-along tape.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely
like
right.
that's. I think
You're
that's
right.
it.
Yeah.
I don't know them from the movie. I know them from the ride and watching the sing-along.
Yeah. I think the other thing though is, if you look at it as an IP, like based on something, it is strange that like if you go all the way back, right? So the IP is based on Uncle Remus tales and that sort of stuff, and that stuff is like written by a white author and like was very much about the inferiority of blacks to white people. Like that was sort of a part of the creation of. I mean, it's appropriation too because he stole some of these folk stories and sort of reworked them. So like, I guess you would have to say like, can the root of something of a thing spoil the entire tree? And
No,
I
because
don't know.
I like Pandora.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point. That's an interesting point. I would say maybe Pandora is less extreme.
Good. A bad movie that the land doesn't have anything
The
to do
land,
with
yeah.
the movie. I'm good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like very loosely connected.
I think there might be a slight.
There's a difference. It was a joke,
Right.
but yeah.
But I think that's what's so weird about when we have conversations about like, and it is such a neutered version of even the story it's based on because like there's no Tar Baby. There's no like they've had to constantly. We gotta also remember that this is a ride where Michael Eisner went, I don't know, and then like said, call it Splash Mountain because there's a Tom Hanks movie coming out. Like, there's not like a lot of thought that. I'm not saying the Imagineers didn't put thought into it, but I'm saying from like a corporate level of where now they'd be like, well, where does everything interconnect and like how can we, you know, how can we make an online game about this as well as we do a novel tie-in series? Like, none of that was taking place.
Yeah.
So
I think the disconnect between the ride and the movie is what really makes the ride really not as problematic. I mean, because
Right.
you know, you really do have generations of people, definitely a generation gap. I mean, I know I saw, you know, I watched the movie, but people, you know, I know there's a whole generation that grew up not watching the movie, not having any clue about
Probably
this
for
movie.
the best.
Right.
Well,
Regardless of the
yes,
content, it's
exactly.
not a good movie.
No, it
Yeah,
has good
so-
characters and good songs. It's not really a good movie.
Right.
Yeah. So I mean, that disconnect saves it. I mean, it's important to talk about it, but you know, I don't think someone would have to. No one's ever really outlined to me what makes the ride problematic. I understand what makes the movie
Exactly.
problematic.
Can we acknowledge, though, for 1 second, that beyond Wolf, there's just a bunch of white people talking about this?
Well, that's what I was going to say. We don't see this the way that other people might.
We are at a
so if the
disadvantage.
feelings about this ride make other people uncomfortable, and it's a large number, and these are legitimate feelings and not kind of just the flavor of them on Twitter outrage, then I want people to be able to go to Disney and feel included and
But all
not
the people
feel
complaining on the
intimidated by
internet-
something that is that they perceive to be racist
All
or
the people
harmful.
complaining about this ride on the internet, though, from what I've seen, are also white. So, you know, I would
Well,
love to
here's-
see
so
hear
here's the
from someone
problem.
who's actually black if the
Right.
ride is offensive.
Absolutely.
That'd be great
I would
to
like
hear.
to hear. I would like to hear from someone who's genuinely offended by the attraction. I would like to hear from them and hear what their viewpoint is about what parts of the attraction offend them.
I can
and
think
why.
of something that is definitely a problem in the ride.
Well, what I saw on Twitter that people were talking about was dialects, right?
Yeah.
So some dialects that are
Yeah.
stereotypical Southern.
They're pretty Amos and
slave-
Andy. I mean, they really
Brer
are.
Fox, Brer Bear, and Brer Rabbit are absolutely three stereotypical Southern black
minstrel
voices.
And I don't mean to jump ahead to what Jason's other point was about Princess and the Frog, but you don't overcome that by retheming it Princess and the Frog, because there are dialect issues with Mama Odie in that movie.
Yeah.
There are things that in 20 years other people may find to be offensive. So regardless of that, I do think that Tiana deserves something and they deserve something, but I wouldn't mind if they're gonna reskin Splash Mountain, make it something original. Space Mountain is like original. It's not based on an IP. Right?
You know
Thunder
you're
Mountain's
in,
original.
you
It's
know
not
you're in
really based on
2020, right?
Have you talked about anything with the Walt Disney Company in the last 5 years?
Yeah,
I mean, even Japan isn't doing original attractions anymore. So I mean, come on.
But like, I totally get it as well, and like, I think that Princess and the Frog and Tiana do need representation in
Right.
the park. I
Yes.
get it, but it's one of
That's
those
a
things
totally
that I
different
just
question, right?
say that again.
Totally different. That's a totally different question.
Right. Yeah.
Correct.
agree,
But it's one of those things that also it's like, people that want this representation, do you just want Disney to shoehorn it in?
Right.
Or do you want them to take their time and actually do something?
Yeah, does it feel patronizing to just take Splash Mountain and you go, oh, never mind, it's Tiana.
Oh, now it's about black
okay,
people,
like,
so we're
whatever.
fine. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
you want
check
them
the
to do
box, you should be
something
happy
original
now.
and something, you know.
They're going to end up
I
with a
think someone-
shitty ride.
Let me just say that now, I guess.
Wow, that's two today.
I think someone in the chat said, and what I've been saying all day is I don't really want it to happen because I grew up with those characters sounding a certain way, but I understand that might be offensive. Recast the voices, just re-record new dialogue for the three Brers, and you probably... Because I don't
That's
know
reasonable.
how offensive anything else in this actually is. I'm not completely certain any of the other characters are offensive, because a lot of them are just Southern stereotypes, which is like a country bear thing. Like, it's not a race thing, it's a region thing, but that's not really deemed offensive.
But when you have an entire region that you've been brought up, well, not even brought up, but if you're a person of color and an entire region has lynched you for decades, I imagine feeling uncomfortable with that region. Like,
Definitely, yeah,
like I
you
think
Yeah.
there is as
But
fair,
I mean,
right.
black people still live in the South,
No,
though.
totally.
I mean, it's not they all
Right,
left. They didn't
right.
all, like, I can't live in this region. But
Right.
I understand a certain time and place. Yeah, I get that. But this isn't even actually a time and place. They're animals. Like, it's
Right.
not, like, the voice thing I get.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I don't I don't know. Otherwise, they're cartoon characters, right?
I talked about it in March Madness. Disney has a habit of portraying animals as rednecks. It's like hillbillies, right?
Yeah,
the country
sure.
bears, and you have this, and
the buzzards in Robin Hood.
Yeah,
it's just a thing with animals.
I mean,
they like to their country.
You've got worse than that. I mean, you've got like the Indians in Peter Pan.
Yeah,
that's definitely worse. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's very
I'm
racist.
amazed that that survived. I'm amazed.
There's a lot of things definitely to address.
They should definitely
one thing that I haven't
rethink
seen.
Peter Pan to Princess and the Frog.
I mean, a lot of the Tom Sawyer stuff has been addressed over the years. I mean, Japan still has the big offensive face, but, you know.
One thing that I'm surprised hasn't been addressed in a lot of these discussions about Splash Mountain is people will talk about Zippity-Doo-Dah. Nobody talks about How Do You Do. If you listen to the lyrics of How Do You Do, it actually sounds a lot more kind of... It uses a lot of those same kind of stereotypical language.
The problem is no one can
dialects
actually hear
to
the
it.
words to that song. No one knows what they're even saying.
I thought they were saying pretty good. Show us your balls. For
Yeah. Show us your barn. Show us your barn. Show us your barn. Is it Sweet Georgia Boy? Like, no one knows.
This is a hot evening. We're all over the place.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get us off track.
It's all right. Jason said shit. It's fine.
Oh no, it's another one.
You started a precedent. I'm just
Show
saying.
us your bum.
I really do think that, you know, re-recording the voices probably would be a good step to trying to, I guess, clean up Splash Mountain a little bit. But if we're going to talk about other offensive elements, I think How Do You Do is a much more high priority than thinking about Zippity-Doo-Dah would be. Especially because Zippity-Doo-Dah is,
I don't know,
on the same level as When You Wish Upon a Star in terms of how iconic it is.
You know, Dixie's really popular with people too, so
we ain't touching Zippity-Doo-Dah.
It's like, it's one of those things too. It's like, okay, so we re-record these voices, but re-recording these voices, is that going to automatically, like, change everyone's mindset of who these characters are and where, you know, kind of thing? Like, does Disney need to make a whole new animated film with these characters and change everything about that then? Like,
here's my solution to that, Eric.
Yeah.
George Santayana said, "Those who do not remember the past are condemned to repeat it." What people seem to want to do right now is just erase or bury uncomfortable things in the past. That's not going to solve the problem. People need to take these things from the past that are uncomfortable for whatever reason, if they're racist, if they're, you know, religion-related discrimination, sexist, whatever. People need to take these things, they need to look at them, they need to talk about them, talk with their kids about them, explain what the problem is, and explain that this was created in a different time, and we don't do these things today.
All right, before we go on Splash Mountain,
people were allowed to be terrible. But
talk about
the question
issues.
is, like, I remember we had the pirate conversation, and there were some people who legitimately said, like, they felt uncomfortable, and they would tell their kids, like, you know, obviously that's very bad that they're auctioning women. Are there actually people coming off of Splash Mountain offended though?
I don't know.
I don't know that this is as clear.
I don't know.
I'm not the person
as
to
the auction
ask
thing.
about
I think when the parks reopen, we should station a reporter at the exit of Splash Mountain and ask people coming off if they're offended. Like, take a survey.
Jason, and I've disagreed with you about this before, which is, I don't find parks to be a place where you should be able to have a bunch of conversations about, like, well, this is, like, I mean, this goes to, I think there's just a whole basis here of, like, how much do we have to, like, bring context to when, in theory, we're all supposed to be on vacation. And I think that's not, and I don't disagree with the idea that we need to learn from history. I just don't know if Splash Mountain is history. This is made in the 90s. Like,
well, it's not.
This is different than public spaces.
If there's something offensive about Splash Mountain that isn't just the fact that it's tied to a movie that no one can even see. By the way.
Well, that's just the weirdest thing about everything.
Right. That's my argument.
And that's what I think is it's just it's a poor IP. It's weird that it's a popular IP.
If you record some voices and that's the end of it, then do it.
But if there are a large number of people who are made uncomfortable by it, because you know, like I said, we are mostly white, and it's kind of invisible to a lot of us, as they say. If there are a large number of people who are made uncomfortable by this, then Disney as a business has an obligation to its shareholders and everyone else to try to make people more comfortable in their parks and do something. The question is, how uncomfortable is Disney going to, or how big is this movement? Is it real? And if there are a number of people who are legitimately uncomfortable with this, I'm totally okay with them doing something else. If this is just Twitter outrage, I'm open to learning and hearing from people that are offended by it. You know?
I think people are trying to people all have their spaces, right? And they're trying to, and I kind of appreciate that people are looking at their spaces and going like, what here is not welcoming to others? And I think some of those conversations will end up where monuments get destroyed to traitors, and other and other things like Splash Mountain. It's like, well, there's probably bigger fish to fry at Disney. But
I can see if you're a person who is in the middle of this, where you're saying, we've got to get rid of this statue and things that maybe people, or rebel flags or things that people find offensive, probably more so than a ride, right? But you're swinging a hammer right now and everything starts looking like a nail. So you're like, hey, here's monument, we got to take that down. It's like, good, we got that out of the way. You know, screw it, let's go after Splash Mountain. I don't know. I would like to hear from someone, because if it does make people uncomfortable, I'm totally open to it.
Sometimes you get groups of people that just to give you an example that is a little bit separate, that we started saying instead of deaf, hearing impaired, but deaf people don't want to be called hearing impaired. That's something that hearing people put as a word to feel more comfortable. But the deaf community themselves said, no, I prefer to be called deaf. I prefer to be called hard of hearing, because that's who I am. Is this a similar situation where we're not part of that, but we're assuming that that's what other people want? I don't know.
From a thematic standpoint.
And I think that's a lot of the problem with this sort of discussion on Twitter and other social media, is that, you know, it's not clear whether these opinions are what white people think black people are thinking, or whether they're actually what black people are thinking. It's not really easy. And maybe, I mean, I was being somewhat facetious when I said we should station a reporter at the exit of the ride, but if this is something that Disney really wants to learn about, they should just put questions in their surveys that they take of people that exit the park. I mean,
I think their surveys aren't known for being
no. If
the
this
type of
gets
things
on
that
the
take
table and
decisive
this is
action, I think that's
something,
something they're doing.
if this is something Disney really starts to seriously consider, then I believe they should bring the black community in, as far as getting leaders in the black community come in and have real discussions about it. They're the ones that need to decide that, not us. And so if they, I wanted to say this too, related to the pirate scene, the redhead scene. So we brought it up. I think we're probably better off going forward not having that scene there. And I know you don't agree with me, but I personally think that scene, changing that scene, did nothing to the overall enjoyment of the attraction. And I feel down the road we will be better off without it there.
Quit your clucking.
I feel well, then I'm not talking about the quality of the scene they put in its place. I'm talking removing what was there. And I feel the same way with Splash Mountain. If you were to retheme this, yes, I want it to be a good, valuable retheme. But if you were to remove the main three characters and make it some chase story about some animals and it had a good story, and so go for it. I think we'd be better off down the road without those characters in there.
Here's the thing. So first of all, the thing that was brought up, the thing that was brought up about having black organizations go through, I think it would be great if they invited several black organizations to come to Walt Disney World, have the experience, and then tell them what their experience was. I think it would be good for them as a company to just hear what a Walt Disney World vacation or those rides and attractions and things feel like to those people.
From some studies, 10% of annual pass, not annual pass holders, but 10% of people who come to Disney World are of the African American community. So it's probably a good idea, and that's second lead, I think. So it's probably a good idea to have an idea how their experiences differ.
But beyond that, this company has spent a lifetime telling us that the people that create their rides are artists, that this is an art form, that these things mean something. And so I hold them in the same regards as things like movies. You know, like Gone with the Wind. Some people are offended by Gone with the Wind. Should Gone with the Wind be erased from history? No. No, it shouldn't.
Right, no.
I don't agree with that. And some people are like, well, it's a theme park. It's a different thing. But it isn't, though. Like, these people
it's a creation
artists.
from a creator.
The problem is, like, just because Transformers movies get made doesn't mean that the art form of movies is junk, right?
Right.
So just because Race Through New York with Jimmy Fallon gets made doesn't mean that theme parks can't be art. That doesn't disqualify what was done with Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like that scene again. Walt Disney envisioned it. Mark Davis staged it. Like that is a piece of American pop. We Wants the Redhead is too far ingrained in American pop culture at that point.
I knew we talked about pirates more.
To turn because it's a similar situation.
It's somewhat.
It's
similar.
a very similar situation.
I think it's worse. I mean, I think, in all honesty, I think Peter Pan is worse than Splash.
Yeah. And worse
I
than
think
Pirates.
that scene
I
in
think, too.
Pirates was worse than Splash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Native
Peter Pan's
American
worse than
face in
Pirates.
Tom Sawyer Island is absolutely the most offensive thing I've seen in a theme park in my life. And yet in Japan, it's still there.
I've never actually seen this, and apparently I need to go find
It's
it when
in
the
the
park
cave.
reopens.
It's a big, like, stereotypical Native American face, like, in the rock work. It's terrible.
I think the problem too is like, hey, maybe it's 2020. Maybe Disney should have more than one like Black Disney princess that they could make a ride on. Like the fact that like the entire conversation goes directly to Princess and the Frog because there's like her and
because
Moana
then Frozen
and
hits and it's the two whitest princesses ever. And they're like, look at this money.
Well, and what's so,
but they are doing Raya and the Last Dragon. It's not black, but it is not.
Right, it's people of
not
color.
white either.
And I think, what I think is interesting too is like we have to remember about Princess and the Frog. It was a disappointment box office wise, from a corporate standpoint.
It did not do well.
It did
Merchandise sales were not good.
No.
Movie ticket sales were
So
not
they
good.
weren't thinking about it in that way.
So
now you have an entire
mostly
generation
not
of
right then.
people, especially black girls who finally had an opportunity to identify with something, that have grown up and went, wait a minute, this movie's really important to me.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah, and it's really good. So I think there's a...
So instead, give it a barely themed restaurant at Reflections.
Yeah. I think that's the main issue.
Yeah.
And so here's my question, Nathan, in that regard, is would retheming Splash Mountain to something else make the black community happy, or would another movie with a black main character make them happier?
I can't
answer that.
I don't want to just make black people happy. I want black artists to make things for Disney.
Oh,
that,
sure.
That that's my thing.
I totally agree.
Soul is coming out. It's not a princess movie,
Right.
but like they are making movies that do not
Right.
just have white leads.
Yeah, it's the first
I think- right, and I think
African main
it's-
character in a Pixar movie.
Yeah. And
But
I think that's the thing.
It's going to
It's-
be, you know,
I
and the
think-
people behind it also are also African American and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
And I think those are the type of things
And-
that Disney does need to start moving forward to.
That's what they
And,
need
you
to
know,
do.
Yeah,
I
maybe,
think if they put their focus on minority characters, gay or lesbian characters, all of these underrepresented minorities, I think that's where they need to put their focus to make the company more welcoming to diverse people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
And
I'm
not worry about retheming Splash Mountain. Retheming Splash
Correct.
Mountain is such a minor point in the overall, you know, making Disney a comfortable place for people of all races and backgrounds.
Well, and it feels like I
That
think it feels like a tangible goal. So we can go like, there we go.
We
like,
did it. We don't
like-
have to do anything else.
Well, and that's right,
of.
and that's part of the problem, I think.
Yes.
Like that's the problem with Princess and the Frog is Disney said, I mean, how old is Princess and the Frog? Disney said, okay, we got a black princess, we're done. We don't have to worry about. We don't have to make another one.
Yeah.
Right.
And they have
representation,
it.
you know,
So
representation matters. It doesn't matter the
Right.
skin, you know, sexuality, this and that. representation matters, and Disney, for some reason, is starting late on that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not black. I'm Latin. I'm dark colored, but I'm Latin.
Right.
When Princess and the Frog came out, I dressed up as Dr. Facilier. Why? Because that was the first person that I can see myself as in a Disney movie.
Yeah.
First person. And, you know, it was big for me. And I come from a religious family.
Yeah.
So you can imagine the disconnect there. Coming from a religious family wanting to dress up as a voodoo, you know, doctor or witch or wizard or whatever, you know, kind of thing. But it was because I saw myself finally in a Disney movie. And as a Disney fan, that's all I want.
Yeah.
You know, kind of thing. And I feel like that's all
Someone,
other
I
people
want to...
want, you know, as well.
Yeah.
I want to address something in the chat. People said, why aren't more black people on the panel? I never have applicants who are, if you are a listener of this show and are black and would like to be on this show on a regular basis, we would love that. Please contact me. I can only work with who applies when we hire people. You know, I can't work with, I can't like actively, you know, go search for people. I need people to apply. But that's the thing. Like, I understand this is a panel of mostly white people. I get that. It's what we have. I don't have it. You know, I'm sorry.
Which is a
I just
problem
don't.
in the overall Disney
In the
fan
fandom. We had this
community.
conversation last week. Yeah, I you know.
So.
Too many Canadians.
Can I? Yeah, there's a lot of Canadians.
As an Italian, I'm offended by Tony's. Can we tear it down? Oh, boy.
You know,
oh, boy.
To be honest, though, like, on a totally different sort of side note, I kind of love the idea of, like, you know, the Shadow Man kicking me out and me falling down a ravine. Like, there's certain, like...
Whatever floats your boat.
Right, there's certain visuals, literally. You know, there are certain visuals that, like, I can go, oh, yeah, like, I can see that end scene. I can see how that stuff would work in the ride. I don't necessarily hate the idea whole cloth. But then again, I don't love Splash Mountain. It's not a ride I do every time I'm in the park. So
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not dedicated. So
I think that's a big difference between like Splash and Pirates. You know, way more people have ridden Pirates from when they were children than Splash, and so people aren't as emotionally attached to Splash Mountain, you know, unless, you know, you're a millennial and started riding it when you were a kid. I mean, I love Splash. I think it's great.
Yeah, that's
I
my
like
favorite
the songs.
Magic Kingdom attraction.
I like the characters. It's a great attraction. It's an amazing attraction. But yeah, I don't have quite as much an emotional attachment to Splash as I do to, for example, Pirates.
Yeah.
Just because I've been riding Pirates since I was a kid, and Splash I have not. That's all.
You're old.
Here's a question.
See, that's where I can chime in a little bit too, because I was born
You're not
after
old.
the ride opened, so I grew up riding both Splash Mountain and Pirates. And for me, I love Splash Mountain. I ride it every time I'm at Tokyo Disneyland, even when it's freezing outside. It's so hard to imagine that ride not being there.
I don't think anyone's advocating for bulldozing it.
Yeah.
Changing the ride, you know. But if there's a valid reason to change it, if there is a fundamental thing about it that we can't fix with rewriting a song or redubbing voices or whatever, then maybe that's what should happen.
So here's my question then. So if we do retheme it to Princess and the Frog, at least here in Walt Disney World, it's in Frontierland.
Yeah, it's not.
Does that make
It doesn't
any
make any
sense,
sense.
though?
Well,
to
it's-
retheme it.
It's the South.
It's in Critter Country in
Okay, that's what I was.
At Disneyland, though, it's on the border of New Orleans
Right,
Square.
you could get away with it.
technically,
Yeah, you could. Over there, okay.
It's almost in the Haunted Mansion. You know,
Everything is almost in something else at
Yeah, everything's on
Disneyland.
top of each other at Disneyland. So it would, but it doesn't work. There's no mountains in Louisiana. This is the
think
part I can talk
I
more
really-
freely about. I can't offend anybody. This is a stupid idea. I don't
really
think the
think
idea that
that-
maybe the ride is offensive is stupid. I think Princess, you should just build Tiana's place. Build the damn
Truly.
restaurant. That's it.
I love that.
It's a restaurant. It's like Ratatouille.
It's
I don't
so
want
easy.
to ride. Build a restaurant.
Well, I want-
it's about food.
Yeah, I want a jazz show. You
It's
know,
a
like
food movie.
Some jazz music in a
You could
restaurant
totally
would be
do that.
amazing.
yeah.
I really think that that's something you could get away with. I don't think Princess and the Frog is the right IP idea for reskinning Splash Mountain for many
No, and I
reasons.
don't know that the right IP exists. They don't.
Lone Ranger. No, I'm just kidding.
I love that movie. That
Johnny Depp.
I'm sorry. I love that movie. I love it. It was good. Everyone else is wrong. It was like John Carter was actual garbage, but it was like the same thing where they like before it even came out, everyone's like, nope, don't see it. And I went to see it. I was like, this is great. Why did people ruin this?
Well,
we could have had a Frontierland expansion, and you all ruined it.
I will say that's what's weird about Splash Mountain. There's not like, I think people lean on Princess and the Frog only because we go, well, what? Like, what else do we? Home on the Range? What else do we have? Like,
Bugs Life.
yeah, like
Maybe the
what?
big-
It's an anthill.
Zorro! Zorro Log Flume!
Secret!
back to-
Zorro! Spanish! Log Flume!
They're just making a secret Swiss log flume training facility. That's it.
Yeah.
Would be-
And this
I'd be
goes
okay
back,
with
I
that.
think Jason said this earlier. He was talking about what, oh crap. You guys made me lose my train of thought with that
No,
stupid
you haven't. It's
train.
already
I hate all of you and myself. I'll come back to it.
I'm sorry, Spence. We're out of time. All right. Anyway, I don't know what the answer is, but if it is offensive, I don't think you get rid of Splash Mountain. I think you change what you deem offensive. I think people know it's permeated pop culture. People know what it is. If you want to redo the voices of the main characters, if you want to maybe the frogs are a little offensive looking, you want to take those out, okay. But I like if those are the only things, then let's just fix them and move on. I don't think
Put the
there's
tail
a
back on
good
that bear
answer.
and-
You know, yeah, I fought for that tail. Could we not? I don't
We'll
want
give you
to
the
erase
tail.
all
The
that
real
work.
Okay,
All that
that's what it
work.
was. So, where do you draw the line, though? Do you take out the characters? Do you take out the song? Like, if you're going
We
to
are the
change-
wrong people to
Yeah.
answer this because
Yeah.
what is deemed offensive in the ride is not up to us, right? That's
Well, yeah. It's just that's the
Here's
base
another
question to
But I
ask.
don't think the
what
answer is
would
removing
we
it. Splash
change?
Mountain, I think, I don't agree with Jason's point. I think Splash Mountain now is at that level. I think it's been around for 30 years. It is Matterhorn and Pirates and Mansion and Small World. It's
a whole
in
generation.
that group.
It
no,
is.
it's in that
Yeah.
group now. You're wrong. It is absolutely a part of that group. It has lasted that
I
long.
said I liked the ride.
Yeah, but it's part of that group. It is
Well, I
one
think-
of the like Disney classics.
And I
at
think it
this
is
point.
because it's a
part of
unique.
that group.
It's a unique ride system for that park. It's the only log flume ride for Disney, and so it does find its way into those conversations because it's unique.
It's beloved. It's 30 years later. The line is as long as it was. It has big show scenes full of animatronics. It is a quintessential Disney attraction. It is absolutely part of that core group that you expect to see. You know.
I agree.
Yeah, no, Tom's right on that.
I agree. I just said I wasn't as emotionally attached to it as Pirates.
Not anything
That's all.
else, just that.
Can we just get a animatronic? Can we just get an animatronic Leonard Maltin at the beginning to be like, now guys, here's the problem. Enjoy the ride.
I mean, should we?
Robert Osborne at
get
the
rid
start
of-
of every. Robert Osborne should be at the start of every ride. to
Hi,
tell
I'm
you
Rob.
every
Hi,
ride.
I'm Robot Osborne.
Robert Osborne.
Should
Here's what's
we
wrong.
also get rid of presidents out of the Hall of Presidents?
I don't know.
because
Someone
they
should
own
write an article
slaves?
about that.
Well, there's stuff in American
Someone
Adventure
should.
too.
American Adventure,
Well,
I think,
sure.
is very tasteful. American Adventure doesn't dodge
But
the
there's some of that
subject.
dialect that you're like,
No, it's not very.
you know.
I don't think that's
It's not, but it's
offensive.
not, I don't think it's very stereotypical. I think it's accurate.
I think it is.
He's
it is
not
too
over the
soon.
top. Like
Right.
I don't think that's over the top, and I think it's a very poignant moment. The American Adventure does not shy away from the
No.
mistakes that have been made in the
No.
American
Right.
Adventure.
The
I
Chief
think the
comes
American
out-
Adventure is a very thoughtful.
It's so good.
attraction.
The chief comes out and is like,
accurate.
"Wait a minute."
I
But
will
I
fight
think that's
no more.
more.
Yeah.
That's more
Enough of your
historical,
words.
Yeah.
You know, for sure, than Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
There's two different.
Yeah, Splash Mountain. Yeah,
ends of the
pulls
spectrum
from
there.
pop culture versus actual history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not Princess and the Frog. It's stupid.
Yeah, no.
Don't be stupid.
Don't be so stupid.
You want to retheme Cafe Orleans at Disneyland.
Perfect.
You want to take away paddlefish, although then what happens to Patty? I
Just
don't know.
more jazz at Disney would be good.
It's a
I vote
riverboat.
for
The
that.
restaurant
Yeah.
shaped like a
Yeah.
riverboat. Yeah. I didn't come up with some revolutionary idea. Everyone's been yelling that since they saw the movie.
Maybe they
There's
could
only
take,
so
like,
many
Tiana and do
riverboat-shaped
one.
restaurants, Eric. They're few and far
Well,
between.
remember, I thought the boathouse was that restaurant.
We can't even do a level
No.
on riverboat-shaped restaurants. There's not enough. Also, that segment is about demolition.
Yeah, we really can't.
I don't think so.
Splash Mountain. We gotta add
like some
Tyler,
sort
add Splash Mountain.
Maybe we get some sort
Play
of
the
riverboat
intro.
like party thing with Tiana on it.
Oh, the ice cream social? That was fun.
Aw.
Couldn't see the parade, but it was fun. Yep, they park you in a spot where trees block the parade. It's supposed to be an event where you see the parade. It was a big success. Tiana's
Just a quick
Showboat
side thing.
Jubilee should have stayed.
Yeah.
If there was anything, that was the greatest piece of entertainment I've seen at the Magic Kingdom. That and Muppets were the
That was
only
great.
good things
That was so
entertainment-wise
good.
at Walt Disney World in the last 15 years. And they both should have stayed. And they're both in the same land. They both should have stayed there.
Yeah, honestly.
Why did it leave? Because money?
Money was only paid for as a promotional thing, so once like the movie run was over, they canned it, which was stupid. It was a great show. It should have stayed. But yeah.
Just a quick side thing. I'd love to see Tiana make appearances here. I have never seen Tiana at Tokyo Disneyland before.
Well, much like
And that needs to be-
WDWNT, they probably need black people to apply to Tokyo Disneyland. So
Yeah, plastic. You don't really
I
want
don't
to.
think they get a lot of applicants outside of a certain group for Tokyo. Sadly, I just don't. I don't know that they get
All
the
of our-
opportunity.
All of
Tokyo
our
also-
princesses are Australian, so I guess it makes sense.
We don't have the time to get into Japan and their relationships with people of different
We'll
nationalities.
call it unique.
We will not get into that on this show. But
Yeah, let's not.
yeah, no, you live there. Let's not get you in trouble. Well, maybe we should. I don't know.
Spencer, is that a knock on your door?
Let me know when you got that stuff shipped. We'll have that
We'll stop
conversation.
talking.
Yeah. All right. Any other final points to be made on this?
Successfully connected as a host.
Hey, the phones are working.
You are
Hey.
now as a host. Manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
I think that's a great point.
It's a good point.
Thank
Dan.
you for your contribution to this show.
Perfect.
It's time to play the Tony's Town Squares.
I just check if Nathan's doing his job every week. And
Well,
some weeks
it's
he is, and some
it's
weeks
it's
he's not.
literally the volume is at 0, so I don't know how you heard that, but maybe we're the only ones that heard that. The audience might be going, I don't know what's going on.
Let's
so.
play the game. Should we play the game?
No, that's second hour.
Look what time it is.
An hour, isn't it?
I'm just gonna rub my microphone. All right, we're gonna take a commercial break. When we come back, not the game yet. We're gonna talk about other things. Then we'll come back, play the game after another commercial break. So yeah, our Jungle Cruise is offensive too.
Sure.
We're working on it. Another discussion. Another
We
discussion.
didn't even touch on that.
Coming soon to Disney Plus, it's the story of a father and son who just wanted to get some fresh air.
Dad, can we go to Disney Springs? It's open.
A family that just wanted to grab a bite to eat and maybe not take their chances shopping online with Shop Disney with a lowercase s. But going out during a pandemic when your dad is a hypochondriac isn't easy, especially when you're a clownfish.
It's a pandemic, Nemo!
But Dad, I'm so bored and we'll follow all the rules.
We can go if you keep your mask on!
I promise.
A father who wants his son to be happy, even if he'll spend every moment of the trip in fear of everything.
Nemo, don't touch the railings, Nemo!
I won't. Can Can we go over there?
Not too far. And wash your fins, Nemo, even the lucky one.
A father who battled an entire ocean to find his son will now try to survive an outdoor mall full of Floridians.
Maskless hillbillies, Nemo! Swim away! Swim away! Oh, I miss when our biggest worry was jellyfish.
Marlin will wish he was back in the safety of a tank after this wild and hilarious adventure.
Dory, where's Nemo?
Fabio? He went to the Bloodhouse.
It's Boathouse! Nemo! Nemo, where are you, son?
Disney Pixar's Socially Distancing Nemo, giving you something to watch between seasons of The Mandalorian on Disney+.
Did you have fun at Disney Springs, son?
Yeah, even if we didn't get anything we wanted because the eBay resellers got them. Oh look, they're testing the monorails. What color is that, Dad?
Coral!
4 panelists, 30 minutes, 1 week in Disney Parks news. This is Parks Center. On Parks Center, the panel and I cover the top 7...
7?
Yeah, 7 Disney Park stories of the past week. From attraction news to transportation scandals to new food and merchandise, we'll cover it all in 30 minutes or less. You can watch us stream live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. at WDWNtunes.com, watch episodes on demand at youtube.com/WDWNT, or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.
WDW News Tonight. We are live on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, WDWNtunes.com. We're live in those places. You probably can't hear me, but we're there.
No, you're fine. Oh, but I need to change the camera.
Logo,
Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why everyone says
Let's talk about what's
bad.
coming up on the show.
Okay.
Which is definitely on the sheet in front of me, and I'm not going to run inside to look at the calendar. Coming up on the show... next week on June 18th, episode 141, we got WDWNT, The Pyramid. Next week, we'll have that discussion of it's too crowded discussion. Places that used to be crowded in the parks that obviously we hope won't be come the reopening of the parks next month. Also next week, rejected chicken guy sauces. Sauces that didn't work out for the chicken guy. On June 25th, card parks and a new segment, The Wheel of IPs. On July 2nd, we have a patriotic edition of The Family Feud and the debut of a brand new segment I can't talk about just yet. It's a big surprise. On July 8th, we're going to be on a Wednesday for the anniversary of the website. It's 13 years of WDWNT. It all culminate in a 13-hour live show ending with News Tonight, which will have the match game, the debut of Disney Deathmatch on News Tonight, bad WDWNT show ideas, and great moments in history, but just the Disney management parts. And then our season finale, I guess, if you want to call it that, on July 16th, we'll talk about the reopening of Walt Disney World. We have a new game show for you that week, bad Orlando billboards, and as well, Cornac the Magnificent. Cornac the Magnificent will be back. That's what's coming up the remainder of our season here at WDW News Tonight. But yeah, no, I was totally here the whole time.
Yeah.
What's coming up on WDWNT in total, though? What do we got going on?
Generally?
Yeah, let's see what's going on. So this is our new weekly schedule. On Sundays, live at 8 o'clock is Pressing Issues. Monday, this is all on YouTube, by the way. Mondays, you can catch News Today with WDW News Today, Cosmic Read Live at 9 p.m. Tuesdays alternate between Ride, Rehab, or Dream Finders. And starting...
Dream Finders this Tuesday, I believe. This coming Tuesday?
Yeah. Starting this, what's today, the 11th? Well,
today is the 11th,
yeah,
yes.
So I don't know if it's going to be this Tuesday. We have a lot going on, but either this week or next week will be the debut of Materially Disney, our new show, which teaches you the history of the Disney parks through memorabilia, merchandise, props, paper goods, all that kind of stuff. Brand new show we're debuting. On Wednesdays, you catch News Today with WDW News Today and Park Center Live at 9. Of course, on Thursdays, News Tonight, you're watching right now. Fridays, another episode of News Today with WDW News Today, and Deep in the Plus, also released at 7 p.m. on Fridays. Saturdays, it's either WDWNT Play or Geekly Kingdom at 5 p.m. They alternate on different weeks, so make sure you check those out. And of course, if you're not already subscribed to Universal Parks News Today, please do so. They're going to have a weekly show called News Today with Universal Parks News Today. The first episode is already out. It's here on our WDWNT YouTube channel this week, so you guys can get a feel for it. But please go subscribe to our new Universal channel. We're putting a new video up every single day over there of the parks, news videos, all sorts of cool stuff.
Yeah.
We're working hard over there at the new website.
And the more you can subscribe, the quicker the material gets out to people in their algorithms and helps others find the content. And it's weird because I feel like there are massive YouTube channels and they only have half of the people that watch also subscribe. So be better than that. Subscribe. It's really helpful actually, and it lets us know what you guys like to watch because it's the easiest way for us to know.
Absolutely. Nick, who brings us WDW News Tonight each and every week?
WDW News Tonight is brought to you by WDWNT, the app, the official mobile application of WDWNT.com. This app brings you all the latest Disney Parks news, WDWNT shows, including WDW News Tonight, streamed right to your mobile device, park hours, videos, as well as the ability to listen and chat live on the go with this very show and many others. Download the app today for iOS, Android, and Amazon devices by searching for WDWNT or visit WDWNT.com for more info. WDWNT, the app, bringing the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news anywhere you want it.
Thank you, Nick. Nick, is it time to take a journey to the wonderful world of psychotic comments?
I sure hope so.
All right, let's do it.
Walt Disney presents...
All right, should I get the Splash Mountain stuff out of the way at the start or save it for the end?
Is it good?
It's hard.
Just do
difficult. All right. April wrote, I also didn't know that Splash Mountain was even based on a movie till a few years ago. Nobody in 2 generations has even ever seen this movie. Ryan wrote, some of these are just uncomfortable, in context. So, Ryan wrote, I'm sick of all the love Princess and the Frog is getting at Walt Disney World. Can we just talk about Tangled receiving at least a stage production instead?
It's literally in the same
Tangled
show.
just got a restroom. I mean, I don't know.
They both share a show. It's
Will Smith wrote,
Oh,
I
Will
missed
Smith.
the day. Yeah, I don't know. I miss the days when I could just go to Disney, enjoy a log flume ride with an animatronic rabbit for what it is.
Oh, probably not
You
Will
know
Smith.
why
then.
Will Smith likes Splash Mountain?
Why?
Because it's in the Wild Wild West.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
That's it. Nick's gone. That's it. It's over.
They asked him, what'd you think of the ride? He said, looking damn good if I say it myself. So, Wild Wild West.
Mandy, yes, that one, wrote, then let's take this literally and retheme the ride to the Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks movie Splash.
Why not?
That's what it was supposed to be.
Disney Plus is censoring that, so.
Maureen wrote, I think a retheme in Walt Disney World would be really cute. Y'all Disney purists are so annoying. And Walt, who I assume y'all worship, would think the same.
It's a good thing he's alive to tell her that.
Prince Naveen wrote in, ladies and gentlemen, what we see here is an attempt of left-wing radicals to control a company with a strong global brand only for their own gain.
This is Prince Naveen himself said this?
Yeah, Prince Naveen himself. It's
Well,
weird.
What is he the prince of again? What's the country?
Fake French country.
Moldovia?
Moldovia.
That's not right. That's another movie.
Yeah, I'll look it up.
I don't know. No. It's a communist country.
We already
In
can't say
Moldovia,
that's not in the...
frog become you. Wild Wild West.
BT wrote, I own a copy of Song of the South. The author of Uncle Remus, Joel Chandler Harris, was a poor, illegitimate, red-haired Irish kid whose family lived in a shack in the back of a plantation along with the slave quarters. If anyone would please be kind enough to acknowledge the plight of the Irish back then, I'd appreciate it.
You know, the Irish people have been through some things.
They have. Holly wrote, I grew up watching the show and even have the soundtrack. Love everything about it. I'm a redheaded Irish, and you don't see like any of us freaking out about how our people were treated back in the day.
I think you do sometimes.
I don't know. As an Irish person, I don't know that I've ever felt represented at all in anything. And then it's a small world. It's just two broken-legged kids just flinging their legs.
By the way, it is Maldonia.
Maldonia. It's still communist.
I don't think it's European.
They're oppressing Hong Kong.
Illuminations, Reflection of Earth, Pyrotechnic Barge, up for auction. Tom Bargeless wrote, Does it need to be said? WDWNT, the Barge.
God. Was
that the Barge or the Barge?
Both. That's just going to be on the Barge when I get
The Barge? The Barge?
Disney College program not likely to restart soon. Jane wrote, how would a union rep know anything about the Disney College program? And for you to take a speculative?
Speculative?
I don't know. No, I don't know what she's trying to take a speculator statement and publish it as fact is even worse. Terrible journalism, but what else would you expect
Well, she
from
better go back to
WDWNT?
school and figure out what that word is.
WDWNT embarks on epic expansion with launch of Universal Parks News today. Tom Senseless wrote, nobody cares about your website.
Oh, boy.
Stitch wrote, I can't wait to hear what BS you make up for the Parks News. Monkey Pooh Pants wrote.
Wait, the Monkey Pooh Pants?
Monkey Pooh Pants. I can't wait for more news on my favorite ride, unannounced Jurassic Park roller coaster.
I don't really like that Monkey Pooh Pants wants to ride that roller coaster. I gotta make sure I don't ride when Monkey Pooh Pants rides. I'm worried.
No, don't go to SeaWorld.
Yeah.
Anti-Gravity wrote, I knew it was only a matter of time before the Disney diehards realized that the future lies with Universal.
That's the most psychotic comment of the week.
Eat the Movies, Universal Studios Florida 30th Anniversary Neon Marquee Donut from Voodoo Donut. Monkey Pooh Pants wrote it again. I don't usually include somebody twice in the same week, but this, we had to do it for Pooh Pants here. If only there were a site where one could get dedicated news about Universal Studios, this article would be a nice addition over there.
Classic Monkey Pooh Pants.
It's on both. We're trying to transition people, You gotta get people used to it.
Yeah. One more article. NBA and Disney reportedly agree on Disney's Coronado Springs Resort to host players. Nicholas wrote, good choice to not use the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Had there been no access to BOMA for the public, there would have been no reason for anyone to come to Walt Disney World.
Well, it's not even opening anyway, so don't worry. Sanaa's opening. That's all that matters.
And then Eduardo commented, will there be a Patrick Spikes room? I don't know. Okay. Sorry. Probably should have been on a better one.
It's at the Orange County Jail.
That's it.
It's the Patrick Spikes room. Yeah. All right. Well, since our people commenting on our post don't know any English, let's try to expand everyone's discabulary, shall we?
Shall we?
Let's learn a new word. The word we're learning this week in our discabulary, the word of the week is masquerade. The imaginary beverage in the empty cup you're carrying around the park to pretend you're drinking, all so you don't have to put your mask back on. That's the thing people do. Tired of wearing your mask? Just grab a cup. Pretend to drink something. It's a masquerade. That your vocabulary for the week. We'll be right back. We need people on the phones. Do we have contestants already?
I don't know.
I think we need them.
We need contestants. Put up the phone number. 8327-WDWNT7, 8327-WDWNT7. Call now to play Tony's Town Squares when we come back tonight.
Something has stopped us now. I'll tell you how. We're gonna live on through it. Let's stay inside and spend our time taking things in stride. Good times aren't held at bay. Just stay away from the population and wash your hands to kill off those bacterial strands. Now we're trying to keep a little distance. It's for sure our best resistance to making things a whole lot worse. Come on, kids, let's all go down to the sink. Wash those grubby little hands of yours. 20 seconds. You never know, it might just save a life. Something has stopped us now, but don't you fret. It'll for sure get better. We'll soon be hand in hand, going down to Disneyland. Oh, won't that be so grand, though something has stopped us now. Ah-cha-cha.
It's something you hear, but aren't meant to notice. Background music, and it is the work of the unsung hero of theme parks and department stores, background music composers. We sat down with some of the very best in the business and arranged their music and interviews onto must-own 7-CD set.
I was hired to make the background music for Dinoland USA. At first, I wrote a pretty fun theme song for the entire land, but in the end, I opted to make a mixtape of terrible songs from the 2000s, and one song made famous for that green ogre movie that Disney didn't even make. I mean, nobody really pays attention to the background music anyways, right?
Composing original music for Grand Avenue and Hollywood studios was certainly a challenge. When you look at it, the land is really just a leftover facade, a gated barricade and a tap house. But then I saw those toilets and I was inspired by one particularly full one.
Listen to some of the world's greatest composers openly discuss the making of such iconic, or ironic, background music. Mostly because we're so confident that nobody would ever listen to or care about this CD set.
I did all the original music for Tokyo Disney Sea. I won a Grammy and a Juno, and it was top of the Billboard charts, and I even won a BAFTA. What? No, wait, I still have so much more to say. I won a BAFTA.
Each CD comes with over 25 hours of music loops, with an alternate side of commentary by the composers themselves.
What I was really thinking about with this Innovations music is that it has to be something you can poop to.
Order your complete collection now at... What, we're out of business? I thought this was going to save the company. It seemed like such a strong business plan.
Nearly everyone loves Italian food, but those people who love a true, authentic Italian come to me at a Tony's Town Square Cafe. I, Tony Ragu, have been offering home-cooked food from the province of Toledo here at the Magic Kingdom for almost 30 years. If you're trapped inside in a quarantine, why not take a night off from cooking and order from us? We now offer takeout and delivery options. I never thought working a microwave would be considered an essential business during a global crisis, but what are you gonna do, eh? All of Tony's favorites are available. The chicken parmesan, spaghetti and meatballs, empanadas, the canine crunchies, you name it. Now there's some things you need to know. Postmates is going to tell you that you can order from our theme park location, but you actually got to come to my warehouse on an Orange Blossom Trail. If you go to the Magic Kingdom, the cops, they're going to stop you. It's okay if they do, though. Just drop on my cousin Vinny's name, Vincenzo Ragu, and they're going to let you through. He's a judge up in Westchester. They know who he is. If you choose a pickup, the food is going to be put in your trunk just to make sure you move any baseball bats, cement blocks, bowling bags, so we can lay the food flat. The food is going to be frozen, so don't worry about it getting cold on the way home. So I have what the Uber Eats app is calling Italian food, Tony's Town Square, now available for delivery or pickup. It usually tastes like it's from the road. Now it's made to travel on it. Mangiare!
Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. Before we begin our game, it's time to find out the incorrect Disney Parks fact of the week. This week's incorrect fact. Leveled is a WDW News Tonight segment about demolishing extinct attractions. Just watch. No, why do you end it? I wanted to watch things get run over.
You want to Scooby-Doo it, huh?
Maybe it was gonna get to
Splash Mountain.
It was gonna get to Splash Mountain. I think.
No.
Horizons.
Nope. Scooby doing it. That's Bugs Life. Oh.
Yep. All right. There you go. Let's play Tony's Town Square.
Okay.
Yes, what?
This doesn't look right, Jason. Just so we're clear.
It never looks right.
Finally got to go to the beauty shop.
Oh.
I can hear you, Eric.
They can hear you, by the way, everybody over there.
You're like on.
I'm like Pete. They can just hear me everywhere.
So there you go.
There's a intro?
No.
Oh.
What happened to it? I saw it.
I know, so did I, but it never got in the Dropbox.
I'm in 2 squares.
Wow, we had a whole intro.
No, I'm not. Never
Hold
mind.
on, let me just
That's my
double check.
street.
It's okay either way.
The whole intro was
Hey,
made. Oh, you
did get
got
in
it?
there.
Hey!
Hold on.
No, wait.
Hold on.
Wait.
Sorry, everybody. Just 1 second. You want this to
Hold
be good. You wanted the premium
Maria, fix your
intro.
wig.
Oh.
Here we go.
I went to the salon.
Oh.
There you go. Mangiano. All right. I don't know.
Mangiano?
That's all I could say. I don't know the Italian. Also, this board looks crazy.
Gabagoo.
Does it actually fit? I don't know.
No.
You can't see any of the bottom people's names on YouTube. Everyone just cut off. And,
I don't know why.
Rob, Tyler, and Eric Morton are just heads.
Oh, well.
Hello, DS.
Oh, wait. Something's happening. Oh, it just looks worse. Wait. Oh, I didn't even know our logo is all the way up to that side. I had no idea.
You can see their names on the regular
no
screen.
Idea. Now
so.
you can. Now it looks good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
We get there over time.
Nick, take it away.
All right, it is time to play Tony's Town Squares. Let's meet our squares. We have Jason, Nathan, Allison,
I've been called that, yeah.
Maria.
Hello, darlings.
Spencer.
How you doing?
Rob. Tyler. And Rob's muted. Yes.
That's on Rob's side.
Hey, I saw it's Tyler. And Eric. What? And in our center square, Tom Corliss.
Yep, I saw.
All
Don't
right.
pick me. Oh, wait, you have to.
Now that we met our squares, let's go ahead and meet our two contestants tonight. We have Doug and Arlo. Good evening, Doug.
Hey, good evening. Hey, lucky y'all, I just ate my last pickle. Oh, no more meatballs tonight.
Eagles. Oh, God.
You notice Jessica's not here tonight. I'm joking. Actually, Jessica's very sad she couldn't be on the panel tonight.
All right, Doug, you're going to be meatballs tonight. let's go say hi to Arlo now. Arlo, good evening.
Oh.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello there. Hi.
Hi, Arlo. Thanks for calling in to play Tony's Town Squares tonight. You're going to be spaghetti tonight. All right.
Ooh, spaghetti. Great, thanks.
Yeah. All right, let's go over the rules. The object of the game is for contestants to match 3 squares in a row, cross down or diagonally, just like tic-tac-toe. If 3 in a row cannot be achieved, contestants can win by marking 5 squares. Play goes back and forth between each player. How do you get those squares? Well, we're going to ask our WDWNT staff members up there a question. They're going to give an answer, and then you have to tell us whether you agree or disagree with their answer. If you get it correct, you get the square with your mark. If you get it wrong, your opponent gets the square. All right, we're going to start off with Doug tonight. Doug, what square would you like to go for first?
All right, let's start it off with the man himself. Let me go with center square, Mr. Tom Corliss.
All right, Tom Corliss.
I'm sorry.
Don't pick
Easy, Maria.
I'm sorry.
All right, Tom, this one's going to...
I'm taking all the squares. It's going to be me and all the squares.
Just so we're clear, this isn't me. Listen.
All right, Tom, here is your question. Recently, World of Disney premiered a pair of socks featuring what characters from the movie Hercules?
Well, I'd say the Muses, but someone will be offended. But I think the socks. I think the socks had Pain and Panic on them.
All right, Pain and Panic. Doug, do you agree or disagree?
I'm gonna agree. Yeah.
Agree? Yeah, Meatball gets the square. All right, good job. All right, over
By
to
the way,
you,
apparently
Arlo.
there's a terrible delay in the
Yeah,
video.
it's
I don't
because
know.
we're running us through another game system, like a.
No.
I think that's
Usually
why.
not like that, but okay.
I don't know what the difference is.
Arlo, over to you. Which square would you like to go for?
I think I gotta go with Maria from Chatham Disney. Oh my gosh, hi darling, let's do this!
Oh, good God.
Boy. All right, Maria, hopefully you're up on your Disney Plus news.
Oh, let's do this. Watch it every night before I go to sleep.
At 7.
As a result of the pandemic, of course, closing many movie theaters, Disney announced what film originally scheduled for a theatrical release would premiere on Disney Plus on June 12th.
Oh, I know this. She's my favorite princess. It's Mulan. Mulan. Because they're making a bunch of live-action movies. Why is everyone staring at me? It's Mulan, darling, Mulan.
Arlo, do you agree or disagree with Mulan?
I'm not up on my Disney Plus news, but I'm gonna disagree.
And disagree. Good job. Spaghetti gets the square.
Oh.
It is Artemis Fowl.
Artemis, I have never even heard of that.
You know, Maria, when you say Mulan, it sounds like Mulan,
Yes, Mulan.
It's like a character from Home on the Range, Mulan.
Mulan. Mulan.
Mulan the Range.
Oh, God, here we go again.
All right, back over to you, Doug.
Good thing we're
where
on a
would
12-second tape delay.
It's going from space and back.
Everyone
Well, yeah,
at the same time.
that's the
1, 2,
thing.
3.
We've said words several times during the show, and so we've been put on a delay.
Should I say it slower? Mulan.
That works.
Okay, good.
Doug, what
All
square
right,
would you like to go for?
Let me go with Tyler.
Hey!
How's it going, Tyler?
This is a big Canadian flag.
It's going good. Yeah, I feel like people have been making fun of me for being Canadian, so I'm showing my pride. I got pride. I
I
got
love that you
Canada.
have
Lots
a
of pride.
Canadian flag.
I also have a photo of Joe Rogan.
Hey.
Oh, everything's fell. Never mind.
Do you have
All
a
right,
bottle
Tyler.
of maple syrup to go with that?
Wow.
I had pancakes. I actually do. Yeah.
Nick, continue.
Please play the game.
Tyler, while not as prominent as the NBA, this other major sport organization recently announced it would be housed at the Swan and Dolphin Resort for its next tournament.
That would be the Canadian Hockey Association.
Definitely not as prominent.
That's hockey.
Yes, absolutely not.
Doug, do you agree or disagree?
Well, since I don't even know what the heck the Canadian Hockey Association is, I'm going to disagree. Yep.
Okay.
That's offensive. Wow. But yeah, Meatball gets the square.
I think it's a curling league.
Hockey.
It's actually MLS soccer.
It's the best joke of the night, too.
Yeah.
The best joke of the night.
I guess it's redundant.
The MLS staying at the Swan and Dolphin.
Oh. Eric's still
Just
going on
stuck
about
on
his-
it.
I'm still
his
mad
soccer
about that
self.
joke getting
on
worst
that
joke of the
joke.
night. I'm sorry.
He took it way too personally.
I liked it your first time, though.
I wouldn't rely on Nathan's,
Okay.
discrimination,
Look, and it's not even my job. I'm just filling in because Nick doesn't have the button. But I think he approved, so I don't have to. I'm just proxy.
Arlo, what square are you going for?
I'm going to go with Nathan.
You bet you are.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. Nathan.
Yes, sir.
Hong Kong Disneyland's castle recently underwent construction and is changing its name to the Castle of Magical Dreams.
Right.
But what was it formerly known as?
Fantasy Castle.
The Fantasy Castle? Do you agree or disagree, Arlo, for the block?
I disagree.
That's a good choice. Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Now it'll be
So you got the block
Castle
there.
of the Oppressed.
All right, back over to Doug.
Tom's in a fighting mood tonight.
Oh.
All right. Let me go ahead. Let me pick Miss Allison.
Oh, yay.
All right. All right, Allison. While Avatar Flight of Passage is the first attraction in recent memory to have a bathroom in the queue, this opening day Hollywood Studios attraction had not only a restroom in the middle of the attraction, but a whole restaurant as well.
That was the Backlot Tour.
The Backlot Tour? Do we agree or disagree, Arlo? Excuse me, Doug.
Yeah, I'll agree.
He'll agree. And Meatball gets the square. Is the Backlot Tour.
Splat.
All right, back over to Arlo.
I'm going to go with Rob.
Yep, Rob for the block.
Splash Mountain shirt.
Hey, yeah, thanks for having me for the Splash Mountain talk. I'm ready to tell you everything I want to talk shit. No, sorry.
Oh.
All right, Rob, before he became the chairman of Disney Parks Experiences and Products, Josh D'Amaro was the vice president of which Walt Disney World theme park?
That would be Hollywood Studios.
Disney's Hollywood Studios. Do you agree or disagree?
Disagree.
Disagree? Yep. Spaghetti gets a square. Animal Kingdom.
That's also wrong. It was Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom.
They have animals there. Ducks.
Actually, it's none of those.
Horse.
Wasn't he president of Walt Disney World?
Right.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
Either way, you got the square.
The kit and caboodle.
Either way, not Hollywood Studios.
Great fact checking as always.
Oops. All right. Back over to Doug.
Got to go with Jason.
To go with Jason. Jason for the block. Jason, when it reopens, what resort restaurant will be the only place to host character dining?
You're muted, Jason.
No wonder.
Come on, man.
Oh, that's why. That would be the Ohana character breakfast.
The Ohana character breakfast. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm gonna disagree.
That's right. It's Topo Gijo.
Topo Gijo.
Topo Gijo. Oh. All right. Yes. So you got the block there, and now we're back over to Arlo.
Gotta go with Eric.
I'm going with Eric right here. All right. Hello, Eric.
Hello, Nick. Would you have hit that button on me?
Hello, Newman.
I'm just kidding.
So bitter.
Okay.
Disney's Animal Kingdom officially opened on April 22nd, 1998, commonly known as what unofficial holiday?
That is Earth Day.
That is Earth Day. Do you agree or disagree?
Agree.
All right, you agree. You get the square. All right, it's 4-4. This one's for the win, Doug. Obviously going with Spencer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go with the man in Japan.
Why? Why am I last?
That shirt's great.
The boy in Japan.
Shove it, Tom.
The boy in
Hanoi. All I can come up with is the boy in
It's
Hanoi.
Tokyo. It's literally Tokyo. Like, that is the one that you should know.
The toddler in Tokyo. I don't know what prefecture you're in.
All right, Spencer, the buildings of Epcot's Norway Pavilion did not light up during Illuminations Reflections of Earth to match up with this pavilion, which also did not light up during the show.
What is the Soviet Union Pavilion?
This isn't Jeopardy, so we don't need it in the form of a question.
Not Jeopardy, dream sequence.
Wow.
Good Lord.
I thought I was in my own nightmare of a dream sequence.
No,
Okay.
sadly, this is reality.
I know, right? God. Canada?
Yeah, they don't have lights.
Do you agree or disagree with Canada?
No electricity.
Just oil lanterns.
Got poop in an outhouse. Ride a moose to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna disagree.
Disagree. Meatball gets the square and wins game 1. Congratulations.
Yay!
Doug.
There's more.
Yay!
Gotta win 2 games. Or we don't have to for time. Are we playing the second one?
No, it's not fair to Arlo. Arlo's got to start
correct
a
answer.
game.
Arlo's got to start a game. All right. All right, so let's reset the game.
Time for the speed round.
No one knows what the correct answer is.
Wait, are there not enough questions for more games? Why are
I
there
can see
not
how you
any
can
more
screw that
Oh
up.
no.
Oh, no.
By the way, the pavilion that doesn't light up is Morocco.
Okay. No, there might be a.
Oh,
let's see,
okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think
5
there's
years
just
since I've seen
some.
Illuminations. How am I supposed to know this?
The lights of
stuff up.
Canada were on even during the day, and someone kept trying to fix them.
I love
It
that
was
no
really
one checked
funny.
how many games are written. And we're just
No,
taking
we're-
contestants. It's great.
We're good. If Arlo wins, though, there's not enough questions for another game. But we're you know.
Oh,
so
Adam
Well, then
is
it's
gonna-
sudden death.
Adam is going to murder you.
we can play what you want. All right, Arlo, you're going to start off this round for us. Which square would you like to start with?
All right, I gotta go with Tom Unscrupulous on Twitter.
All right,
I'm not just unscrupulous on Twitter. I'm unscrupulous in
everywhere.
all facets of life.
All places.
That's true. His annual pass does actually say
Spencer, we don't have
unscrupulous
time! Read the question.
There's no time for
The
jokes.
title of the series finale of the Imagineering story takes its name from an iconic line from what film?
Let's say Pinocchio.
Pinocchio. Do you agree or disagree with Pinocchio?
Disagree.
Disagree. Spaghetti gets a square.
It was
is
Air
Toy
Bud.
Story.
It was dogs.
Air Bud.
It says nowhere that dogs can't play basketball. Was the name of the
What
episode?
is the title of the last episode? I don't even know.
To Infinity and Beyond.
There you go.
There you go. Doug, what square?
All right, you know what? Let me go with Al Borland's stunt double, Mr. Eric Morton.
Oh,
wow.
That's a good. That's
Al
quality.
Borland stunt double.
Hi ho, Eric.
You can just say, "Hey, Eric, I suggest you lose a few pounds."
I find Al Borland is a very
He's a brawny guy, I'll
swole-looking
take it.
guy. Yeah.
Eric, from 1974 through 1980, a narrow gauge railroad transported guests around what resort at Walt Disney World?
Fort Wilderness.
Fort Wilderness. Do you agree or disagree?
I'll agree.
You'll agree. Meatball gets a square.
I was going to say All-Star Music.
In 1974.
You can take the train between all three.
We're going to build this 8-track building in case that's invented.
I don't think so, Tom.
All aboard, next stop, Celebrity Hall.
All right, Arlo, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to go with Spencer.
Hey.
All right. Spencer, on December 29th, 1974, apparently we love that year, John Lennon signed a document at Disney's Polynesian Village Resort that did what?
Divorced him from Yoko Ono.
Divorced him from Yoko Ono. Do you agree or disagree?
I'm going to disagree.
Disagree. All right, you get the square.
It was to
broke
join
up the
Club
Beatles.
Run Disney.
They're still charging him, by the way.
Imagine all the runners.
Good Lord.
All right, back over to Doug.
Spencer, look up the Beatles.
Shove it.
Let me go, Miss Maria.
Maria.
Yes, let's do it, Doug. Let's get you one of the. What are you, spaghetti?
These meatballs.
Meatball. Let's get you a meatball. I make great meatballs,
All
by
right,
the way.
paying attention. All right.
Let's do it.
Maria, the Good Turn Restaurant is the original name of what Epcot eatery?
The Good Turn Restaurant. Oh, the Four Seasons. The Four Seasons. Yep.
Do you agree or disagree with the Four Seasons?
I'd love to stay in the Four Seasons Hotel one day, but I'm going to disagree with that.
Disagree? Yeah, probably best.
It's another
Probably.
musical group for Spencer to look up.
It's another time for me to say shove it.
Oh, what a night.
It was the Garden Grill restaurant. You get the block. Arlo, back over
Did
to
you
you.
just say Guardian Grill?
I might have.
Yes, that's
Who would like the hooked on a
I
Guardian
can't
salad?
stop this eating.
Oh, jeez.
it's a cosmic rewind into your dinner.
No,
We're totally-
Cosmic Read is Monday.
We're totally frozen, right?
Yeah, we are.
Yeah,
Oh,
I was
okay.
trying to figure that
Just
out.
like a
Enjoy-
Tony's
Just
meal.
like a meal from Tony's. We're
Enjoy the
completely
radio
out.
show, everybody.
Oh, no.
So they're not seeing me
Oh,
dance?
It's actually just frozen because the
No.
name of the show is going to pop up over us in
Oh,
a
I
second. It's the opening title.
All right. Arlo.
I also just need to say, as someone who has made the mistake of eating at Tony's not once but twice with my family on a Disney vacation, I can agree with Tom on that one. But I go with Rob.
All right.
Hope he's there.
All right, Rob, here is your question.
Yeah.
Which Disney's Hollywood Studios attraction had its architectural style designed so that it would blend in with the features of Epcot's Morocco Pavilion, from which it can be seen?
That would be the Twilight Zone Tower of Terror.
All right. Do you agree or disagree with that answer?
I agree with it.
You agree? Good job. All right. Spaghetti
We
gets
did
a
it.
square.
It's my least favorite Disney fact.
Sorry, does Rob have a Japan flag?
Just noticed that. What
I
the
know we're
heck?
frozen, but I still see it.
I
covered
felt like
Yoda.
I needed to represent. I mean, Tyler was flaunting his Canadian.
Spencer, where's your Japan flag?
Somehow Rob is more patriotic about the country I live in.
Wow.
Well, I can't take you to you. This is out of my control now.
Lost the show.
Oh.
Just imagine it at home.
Imagine all the
Get out a
show.
sheet of paper and draw some squares at home.
I'll send everyone the graphic.
Let's keep going.
All right. So I'm going to assume you want to go with Allison. I know we can't see the board, but you want to go to Allison for the
you'd
block?
assume right.
Yeah. Yeah.
You'd assume right.
All right.
And I don't even want to know where Rob pulled that Japan flag from. I don't even want to know.
I don't even know what that means.
Rob lives in the
Allison,
United Nations. It was nearby.
Allison, recently, barges from what Walt Disney World Nighttime Spectacular were put up for auction?
That was Rivers of Light.
Great Rivers of Light. Do you agree or disagree?
Gonna disagree.
Disagree. Good job. Meatball gets a square. It was Illuminations.
El DeBarge.
Just imagine a
WDW
meatball.
Barge.
So there's this plus a meatball.
Always do.
Where
No,
Rob
I think
is
we're
at.
back.
Huh?
Are we not back?
No.
It's still frozen.
No.
The board's frozen, but I see y'all's video.
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
when
right.
you go to the live feed, we can see y'all moving. It's just the board that's stuck.
I'm not the
Oh,
one who's
yeah.
going to tell Adam that the game's broken.
So where were
That's all I know. I don't know who's panning the phones tonight, but Godspeed.
we'll just
You gotta draw the board.
He's drawing it.
Draw it and give it to me.
we'll just tell
So
you
go back
who's
to-
where when you need to
We're
know.
going back over to Arlo.
Oh well, I don't have the board anymore. I can't see it because it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone from that screen now.
Some gear. Wolf can draw gear.
Let's get Eric Wolf on a case.
Wolf can draw gear.
So I don't remember where things were, nor do I have the ability to. So
basically, Jason, Nathan, or Tyler are available.
I don't know what's wrong.
I'm right between two meatballs.
Oh dear God.
He's the bottom middle.
Yeah,
I have no way of knowing.
That might be worse.
Wait, let me go to YouTube.
And just back it up.
Tyler, I know
You
is
either
bottom
want
middle.
Tyler or Nathan.
Wait,
And
who
it's
got
Rob.
Oh
Yeah,
dear God.
Rob's bottom left.
I'm
No, I don't
above
think
Rob.
who
that's
got
right.
Rob? The spaghetti or
Here we go.
meatballs?
Here we go.
What is it currently?
Spaghetti.
It's spaghetti.
Okay.
Tyler has a meatball,
yeah.
right?
And Allison has a
And
meatball.
Allison.
Allison has a meatball.
So
Allison
it's
has a
either
meatball.
Nathan or Tyler for Arlo, basically.
You know, this is not the
Which one do you
worst
wanna go with?
Tonys we've done, I think, when it comes to...
Rob is a
Jason's not
meatball
available.
also, right?
Rob, are you a meatball?
Yes. I'm a meatball.
Are we talking about his flag or the symbol?
Hey,
Wait, Rob
Hey-o.
is spaghetti.
Rob is spaghetti.
Yeah,
I'm
Rob's
pretty
spaghetti.
sure Rob was spaghetti.
Rob.
I was
Yeah, it's
blind.
We all
Three, so it
can't
should be
be.
three,
I can't
three.
be, darling. We all can't be.
So there.
Rob, Tom,
There you
and
go.
Spencer are spaghetti.
All right, good. All right, so Arlo. Tyler or Nathan?
This is pretty good, though.
Tyler.
Can I go Jason?
Well, you can, yeah.
Go Jason, but it's not
But
gonna.
Jason's up there. That
No,
doesn't
it's not
really help you.
Here's the actual board.
Can you see me?
Just another knot.
I can see Maria.
This is the worst.
Center yourself in the grid, Maria.
So,
Magic third.
That's even better.
Yes.
Whatever you're gonna ask Jason to do, just do it yourself.
No, I don't know how to do these games. I can't do everything.
Just do the game.
All right, can I go, Tyler?
Yes. Tyler. On May 12th, 2010, Disney Parks blog announced that plans had been scrapped for the Disney's California Adventure debut of a stage musical based on what movie?
What year was it again?
2010.
When Spencer was
2010. I'm going to say Wreck-It Ralph.
Wreck-It Ralph, do you agree or disagree?
Oh, we're back.
I disagree.
Oh, good. Spaghetti gets a square.
I don't even think that came out in 2010.
All right, over to
No,
Doug.
it's 2012.
Yeah.
Nathan.
What was the answer?
Yep. All right.
I don't know.
Hey there, Nathan.
Hey there.
Yeah.
Hey there.
All right. Yeah.
Hey now.
This animatronic was modified from a similar figure, Officer Zizix, who was at the baggage screening desk outside of the Star Tours attraction at Tokyo Disneyland. Today, Disney refers to them as cousins. Who is it?
Sunny Eclipse.
Sunny Eclipse. Is that just because they're both aliens?
I know his age.
We're all cousins, you know.
Well, you have to see if the contestant.
Do you agree or disagree with that answer?
I will disagree.
Oh, you should have agreed. Yeah. You should have agreed. It is Sunny Eclipse.
Is that a spaghetti? That's it.
No, he has to earn that.
He can't get a spaghetti to win.
Oh.
Yep. All right, so we'll give Nathan the next question here for you.
Yes.
Arlo, for the win. What is the name of this kids splash area in Typhoon Lagoon, which sounds like something Nick would probably do?
Sorry, the cursor was in my face. The cursor was in my face. I fixed it now. Go ahead, Kitty Lagoon at Typhoon Lagoon thing? That place? What's it called?
It's named for Nick.
Yeah. It's, what is that name? Is that what you're asking me?
Yes.
Yep. What's the name of the splash area?
Catch a Kitty.
You agree or disagree?
That was mannequins.
I have to admit, I've never been to Typhoon Lagoon, but I'm going to agree with that.
The spaghetti gets the square.
Yeah, it's Catch a Kitty Creek. Wow.
All right. So Arlo wins. We end in a tie.
Congrats, Arlo! And you know what? We'll just
give him the same number of core bucks, and that's it.
Do we have to play another game?
No, I think that's it.
Is that
No.
Yeah.
No.
Even if we wanted to, we couldn't.
We'll just give him each 20 core bucks.
Okay. Isn't there someone who's supposed to play the game this week who's going to be very upset? I don't know what happened. I have no idea. All right. We're going to get yelled at. Yeah, okay. We have a post show coming up.
Yeah, okay.
And why do I have two scripts? Oh, you gave me yours. Give me that here. And remember, kids, Briar Patch.